I'm Paul Baum.
He's Jono Bullard.
And he's Aaron Lord. And this is the CHL preview edition of Cats Whiskers TV. Short days away from Panthers taking part in the Champions Hockey League, but before that we're going to take a quick look back to the last weekend. Panthers' pre-season trip to Slovenia to take on Lulea. Worthwhile exercise?
Yeah, no question in my eyes. I think it's great to get the guys together. The result is, it doesn't really matter for me, and I think for other people as well. It's about seeing what the guys are like, getting the ring, sort of the rustiness out of the systems, and starting the process ready for the big games this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron's right. We had to play somebody, and a lot's been made of the fact that we had to travel all the way to Slovenia. But where else were we going to go? There's no team over here, I don't think, that's back as early as we are.
No.
For obvious reasons, and so then you've got to look at somewhere in Europe. And okay, yeah, we lost, but it's a team building exercise as much as anything. It gives Nielsen a chance to look at the team, try some lines out. I'm sure he'll be swapping them about.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't win, but
it's not about that really. I think it was more a case of getting a little bit of match fitness.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to think what would have happened if we'd have gone in to play in Lukko Rauma on Friday having not had any sort of competitive type of game beforehand.
Well, I mean, that would never happen because the Panthers are taking the CHL seriously, and rightly so. But we didn't lose the games. It wasn't embarrassing. We put up a good fight in both games. Yes, we lost, but like Paul said, Nielsen will be trying out a few things. It's just like you said, it's match fitness at the end of the day. And in any sport, pre-season, it's not about the results. It's about building a bit of camaraderie in the team. And I think especially after last season, that is something that this season will be crucial for us. And I'm sure there's more, like Corey said himself on the website, there's positives to take out of the weekend.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and to give a quick football comparison, if you look at Manchester United's pre-season, which was superb, didn't do them much good when it came to the opening games on Saturday.
No, and the CHL game on Friday is when it matters. Pre-season is in the past. Come that day, and everything will start on Friday.
Looking ahead to Friday, we're taking on Lukko Rauma from Finland. Looking at the roster that they only have a couple of imports. Ryan Zapolsky, who is their American netminder, ECHL background, and 73 games in the Finnish Elite League. So you may say probably not what you would expect. Their other two netminders are quite young. You've got 18-year-old and a 20-year-old.
That he can't pronounce.
That I can't pronounce, but only two Finnish League games between them. So you've got to expect Zapolsky will probably start the game.
You're not trying to say he's the weak link, are you?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But when I was looking through the rosters, I expected to see probably a netminder with a bit more pedigree about him. I mean, that's a netminder that you could probably feasibly see in the Elite League.
Yeah, but you've got to get through his defence.
Absolutely, and that is where they look.
You've got
Ilkka Mikkola,
who's got nearly 1,000 games
in the top league in Finland. And when you sort of look through the roster and look at the amount of games they played, and okay, there's a smattering of NHL, KHL, AHL games in there, but it's the basis is mainly in the Finnish Elite League.
So we can safely say they're going to play in the Finnish style.
Well, I mean, it has.
Whatever that is.
Well, it has actually been compared one of the closest to the North American style, the Finnish style. So we can probably expect quite a hard checking game.
Yeah, I mean that was the thing before the Continental Cup. I see. Some people were saying that there'll be no check-in. No, they didn't watch. They'd not seen Riga before, had they? I mean,
no.
they came and they threw the body, but it'll be. We know it'll be fast, and I think. I hope this season we've got it looks like we've got a more mobile defence to, maybe cancel. I think
just sorry to interrupt, but just to point that out, do you think that the smaller neutral zones may have any effect there?
Good point.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure. I think Corey has recruited a roster with that rule change in mind, because a smaller neutral zone means the transition between defence and attack has got to be better.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of young, mobile, quick defencemen, and I think he's done the right thing. Obviously, we will see it in practice on Friday, but...
Yeah. So what you're saying is that when Evan Mosey does them spinner armers on his own blue line, he's further away from the goal than he was.
Well, we'll see. I can't imagine that he'll be doing too much of that, especially against teams of this quality.
I hope not.
I think that rule change is a factor in Corey's recruitment, but I think just a faster transition play anyway is something that Corey was looking for before that rule change came in, because you never know when that rule
It was
change.
something I think we lacked last season.
Yeah.
That we'd got a lot of big, slow defencemen. You need a mix of them and the more agile, the more offensively minded ones, I think.
I mean, for me, going back to obviously Friday night, and you look at their netminder and you talk about obviously the defence, and don't forget, just they'll have a budget as well, and obviously they're looking at the defence and then the forwards as an area that they really want strength. And would you expect to, just because of his background, look how many. You can look at the stats all day, really, and we've looked at that at previous players. We look at players that we've signed this season, and we look at their stats and we go, do you know what? He looks like a player that is going to be good, but stats mean nothing to a certain degree. They just give you an idea. So, I mean, I wouldn't.
It's how they gel. It's how they're played.
Yeah.
If Nielsen's got a particular system that doesn't suit a player, they're not going to do as well.
Do you think? I mean, Panthers will obviously go with a much stronger squad than what we would say probably a normal elite league squad. You have the likes of Robinson, Mark Lee, Cohen in there in defence.
Is it 4 or 5 extra imports?
5 extra. I think
imports.
since our last show, we've signed Cohen
exactly,
in defence.
so 5.
Martin Ratterins in net to probably just strengthen the net minding department a little. We've certainly not shirked on spending money in getting a team, and I think it's good to see that Neil Black and the club have taken this seriously, and they've, we're still probably miles short of the next team of budget, but I think he's given us a chance to be competitive by at least we'll be icing probably 4 lines.
There's one word that describes the way the Panthers have approached the CHL in my eyes, and that's ambition. And yes, we're Panthers fans, but that is one thing that you cannot knock the Panthers for. Whether it's in the league or whether it's in the CHL, they have always shown ambition. They want to better themselves. They want to better the Panthers, and it was put on through Craig Simpson's blog today, which I retweeted, which is a great blog, by the way, just talking about Neil Black, which Neil Black gets a lot of criticism within the Elite League, but you cannot knock his attitude towards the CHL either. And if the Panthers do well in this, and by well I mean close performances, even get a result, then that has to bode well for the Elite League.
I think it's more than just on the ice as well. If we do, if we're professional off the ice, I know I don't want to keep going back to the Continental Cup, but I know they were impressed with Nottingham and the way it was all done. So, we're in the shop window, I think, in terms of the CHL, for how we act and what we do off the ice as well.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I mean, just quickly talking about off the ice before we move on. We've had we asked for a few tweets about the Champions League, and we can work them in as we go along. And we got a tweet from Tony, who I know he's a Steelers fan, and he's coming down to watch the games. He's sat in block 15, I believe. And he said, what could have been done to promote it better? It doesn't seem to have captured the imagination of the fans of the Elite League. Now, I have quite strong feelings about this, because I think Neil Black has not shirked his responsibility. He's put the money in, and we've got 4 lines. I feel he's been let down a bit by Panthers fans, because we're just not selling the tickets. I mean, I think there's been about 2,500 tickets sold. The curtains are coming down in summer.
You counted it.
Yeah, I think you know exactly how many tickets have been
This was
sold.
last Saturday. But I do feel, he's not been rewarded for the ambition he's shown.
It's disappointing when we found out today that the Panthers had asked for the curtains to be put down. Don't know what was wrong with them, but we'll be sad to see them go. But sorry, they're drapes, not curtains. But yeah, it's really disappointing. I know it's the bank holiday. I know pre-season is not normally a particularly popular time for Panthers games. Although we were talking coming down about the charity
Shield game.
Shield. Whatever happened to that? Where we played Sheffield, got 6,000. But it is. I mean, we're trying to keep this short. I know, and we could go on about this for hours. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. Maybe it's to do with Panthers fan base. There are the very committed ones, the ones you see all over Twitter, lower like us, who are extremely excited about it, and rightly so. And then there are the ones who, let's go and see the Panthers. It's a night out. I don't know, but when I saw that the arena had been asked to put the curtains down on the end blocks. I think it's 7 to 13. So if you're in row R, in blocks 7 to 13, they're going to contact you apparently, and about moving somewhere else. But if it gets bad, I might go and sit behind the curtain.
I think, to be fair, Paul makes a good point about the fan base. I think unless you are a real passionate hockey fan, you're gonna maybe the CHL doesn't grab your attention. It's still a lot of money. It's £19, I believe, each ticket, unless you buy the free
in the gold,
tickets.
yes.
For the gold, sorry, people on holiday, they might have just gone on holiday. Kids starting school, kids need equipment. There's other things to it. It's disappointing, but to be fair, my thing would be, however many thousand are there, you have to make it feel like it's a full arena.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
because
you've got the question as well, of course, that it's on television.
Well, it is, but it's another good point.
Nothing looks worse than a load of empty seats.
But 2,500 people can by sure make that arena feel like there's 5,000 in there.
Yeah, I mean, again, that Riga game, I think there was only 3,500 there then, but it sure sounded a lot more during that game.
It's like an atmosphere.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to Sunday's game against Lulea of Sweden. Again, another stacked roster, plenty of Swedish top league experience. Again, a smattering of AHL, but very little NHL experience. Only a couple of players having played in the NHL. I'm sure they will go. And these are, of course, I think, of all the teams in our group, are the ones who have got the shortest odds. I believe they are 14 to 1 to win the Champions League overall, compared to our 1,000 to 1, which you've got to say that Lulea are probably strong favourites for that game.
Have you been to a bookmaker's before? Do you know how it works? Yeah, I mean, again, you just look through the team and it's stacked stacked with quality. I mean, somebody you missed actually going back to Lukko, somebody you missed, I think it's Nymanen, who's got 443 NHL games. You don't get that for being 37 there, so he's obviously past it.
Yeah, but remember people said that about David Ling, and at our level was,
Trust me, I'm joking. But hey, they've got Stephen Dixon playing. Is that the bloke who used to play for Guildford?
No.
But I'm sorry. Yeah, it's in all seriousness, it's just stacked with quality, and sometimes having those standout NHLers doesn't always work for you. If you've got a team, I'd rather see a team that's all more of the same level than stars and not so good people, because they're going to play as a team.
And I think that's the thing. I'll be interesting to see how both Lukko and Lulea play as a team unit. And I think the thing is, and this may start another debate about imports in this league, but that, you look at the Lukko roster, and bar two are all Finnish players. The Lulea is majority Swedish players, and okay, they have far better development systems. But these guys will have probably.
That's where the argument. That's what we need before we can lower the.
Absolutely,
numbers.
But these guys will also probably play on the same teams, play through the same junior development team, so we'll be used to how they all play.
Playing as a
so
team.
Their teamwork is probably going to be exceptional, and that's something else that the Panthers are going to have to fight against.
Yeah, but this is all what the Panthers knew. All of this when they entered this competition, they knew they would be the 44th seed. They knew that nobody would give them a hell's hope of probably even scoring a goal, let alone getting a point out of a game or even getting the victory. But this is sport. The Panthers, as far as I'm concerned, have nothing to lose.
Well, exactly.
This is an opportunity where people can show off their skills and go and cause an upset. And I honestly do think we will cause an upset.
If things we're going to do it at any point, it's against Lukko.
You think so? I'm Friday.
I'm not hopeful. I've not said that for a while. But I think if there's a chance, it'd be them, because Cashin, they'll have not had as much practice as well.
And I suppose the other advantage in our favour is they're not going to have a clue what to expect from us.
You've got a point, Jono. 3 seasons in, you've got a point.
But they're not. They're going to have no idea about how we play.
But going back to what Aaron was saying about us being the massive underdogs, it's almost like the way we were talking. What we were saying about the pre-season games against Ljubljana. You've just got to go there and you just got to take the positives. Yeah, the chances are we're going to lose, but it's almost how we lose. Going out there and playing to the best of our abilities. You play to the best of your abilities and you lose.
You've got no.
There's nothing. Yeah.
And just looking at the bigger picture as well. This is all these are pre-season games. Effectively for the longer campaign.
Yeah.
And what better pre-season games than facing these two teams and the quality that these two teams are going to bring. And on the flip side, what happens if we get a result against these two teams this weekend, or one of these teams? The confidence, or even the confidence anyway. The confidence of just playing well against these and putting up a fight.
Yeah,
that is going to. I'm sorry, but I'd rather have that, lose these 2 games, play well, gain confidence from that, than play an elite league team in 2 weeks' time.
At the end of the day, as a pre-season goes, it sure as hell beats playing Coventry home and away.
Yeah, exactly.
Other hockey teams are available.
But it is.
But it
really
does.
is.
I think it's far.
It's a win-win situation for the club. It's I would say it's a win-win situation for the players. You go in there, you're testing yourself against some of the best players that are in the European League.
Also, these guys on short-term contracts, it does put them in the shop window. So they're going to want to come and perform. They're not.
They are their own adverts,
they're looking for a contract. Yeah. But also, you've got then the other Panthers players who want to have a regular spot on the roster.
Well, I was just going to say, it's not just the short-term contract people that are putting themselves in the shop window. It's everybody on that roster that's putting themselves into, because it's bounded about about certain release clauses in people's contracts in the Elite League contract. You know, even if somebody that we think is on the Elite League roster plays exceptionally well and the team comes in for them, there's no saying that they're not going to go. So, you know, from a player's point of view, go out there, prove your point, you know, put on a show and make the fans happy. And I honestly think I don't think we'll be the walkovers that everybody thinks we will. I'm not being delusional when I say that. I don't expect us to necessarily, you know, make a splash, but I think we'll raise a few eyebrows.
And at the end of the day, one way or another, we're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Win or lose, as hockey fans, we're in for a treat. We are not going to see this sort of quality again this season. Yeah.
Well,
unless, of course, we make the next round.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. That is well, I would say that's extremely unlikely. But you know, you've got to be in it.
Dream, Johnny.
Got to be in it to win it. You know, couple more questions that we received. Andrew Birrell, Colorado Flyer. He's asked, which game do you guys feel will be the toughest?
Lulea.
Yeah, I think Lulea as well.
Hamburg away.
Mind you, that is the last game, and I suppose it could be.
Oh, you mean out of these two?
Well, I think overall, Lulea are the
they're the number one.
They're the number one. They've got the quality, I think. But you know, it's going to be a privilege to see these sort of teams, and I think it'll be very, very interesting to see how we stack up against them as well. We'll see how far or how little the gap is.
So it could be quite depressing. What you're saying.
Well, you make a sorry, Aaron.
No,
I was saying you make a point there about depressing. I just hope that if we do get beaten badly, the fans don't turn on the team.
Well, it's too late for that.
I mean, it happened on Sunday in a pre-season friendly. I mean, come on.
I'm sorry, but look, I don't really go on forums, to be honest. So I don't really know what people say and stuff. But I'm sorry, but if you're criticised, I read a conversation between a certain Jono Bullard and Andy Haywood the other day on Twitter. My standing, you know, not as good
the good-looking fella.
No, you're getting it mixed up. And they were talking about the fact that a certain netminder got minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And I'm sorry, but you're idiots. It's quite. I know, but you're idiots. Because you're not taking the game for what it is. You're looking at it as if it's must-win Elite League, Champions Hockey League, Challenge Cup, playoff, whatever. You're looking at it as that's a game that we need to win. You're not understanding it from the bigger picture. Players need game time wherever they are, and to criticise people at this early stage is. What are you doing? What are you doing? If fans, I'm sorry, but if fans on Friday night and Sunday afternoon boo and don't get behind that team, then I'm sorry, we are going to end up empty at the end of the season because as a fan you are there to motivate and be the, as they say in football, the 12th man, and that kind of attitude just does not sit well with me already.
What they've got to think is, and remember, if you disagree that you're an idiot, write to him, not the rest of us.
Hey, I'll be in the arena on Friday, so come and tell me.
Block 15.
Yep.
I don't know anymore. But, you know, if you're booing that team, it's a kick in the teeth for our own, for Neil Black. Yeah. And is he going to want to do it again? Is he going to look at it? Is he going to look at it and think, I've paid out all this money because, you know, as we were saying before, this is not an inconsiderable amount of money that he's had to pay out for this.
No, exactly.
And they're booing me. Why? You know the feeling yourself. You do something, you put yourself out for somebody, and they don't appreciate it. You go, why do I bother? And if he decides, why do I bother?
We could be in trouble.
Well, who next?
I'll tell you just very quickly, because I know we're moving on, but the benefit of this as well is, even if we lose and the players perform well, that should give everybody, and the fans who aren't idiots, which are most of them,
good save.
Hey, he's back. Confidence going into the Elite League.
Of course it will.
Because we would have seen, do you know what, actually we've got good players, we've got a good team ethic or whatever, and we should feel positive going into the league campaign.
Another question from Jack Lee. He's saying, how far do you think Panthers can go in the CHL?
I don't know. For the simple reason, I don't know which one's further away, Lulea or Lukko. Why are you even considering which one is furthest away?
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. I don't think we'll even get out of the group.
No, I don't
think we'll get out of the group. Then that's just being realistic. I don't
think we'll get a point.
Right, so that was going to be my question. To make that a little bit more in detail is, how many points do you think we'll get? Do you think we'll win a game?
Probably not.
I
think we may take a game to overtime, though.
I think we'll win a game. That's as far as we'll get.
And I was cheerful as always.
Good question.
Yeah, very good question. Final one, which was I raised my eyebrows when I read this from Liam at Frozen Steel blog.
Oh, I thought they meant where the Clantastics pound was set.
Yes, I bet a pound on Panthers to win the CHL at 1,000 to 1. Should I be worried?
You've got more chance of getting it back from the world's, if you threw it in the world's deepest well.
There you go. So the question from Liam from Frozen Steel blog says, the way Corey Nielsen handles the extra players and potential friction from that be the making or breaking of him as a coach. Well, I don't think he's got anything left to prove here, really. The amount of trophies he's won. So I can't see him being broken as a coach. I think it's a necessity that we've had to have the extra players in order to even compete.
I think it'll depend on the players to a certain extent. Some will react well to it, some might not. But at the end of the day, with the exception of the British players, all the imports, all the imports we brought in have played in America. Has Podlesak?
Podlesak hasn't, no.
Right. What about Martin? Ratum?
Probably
well.
not, yeah.
Most of the imports have played in America where they're playing on bigger teams, they're going to training camp, where the numbers have been cut down over time. What's the difference between that and what we're doing?
No, that's a very good point, actually, yeah.
I think it's a good question, and you say that Corey Nielsen's got nothing left to prove, and because of the trophies, but you're only as good as your last game, or in this case I would say your last season. And we didn't have the greatest of seasons last season.
No.
So for me, you can never sort of tarnish the what Corey Nielsen has done for this club. But he's also got to put the wrongs right from last season. Well, we performed, and you could talk about injuries, but we're not going to go through that. But we still performed poorly over a season. And for me, he's under a little bit of pressure to put that right and take us back to a level where we are competing.
Yeah, I mean,
for league titles.
That's the sign of good or great coach, not how you play when things are going well. It's what you do when things are going badly. And I don't think I'd entirely agree with Aaron on that. I think we didn't have the best seasons, and there were problems. Some of them we made ourselves, some of them we didn't. But going back to the question, I don't see it being a problem.
No,
because at the end of the day, Nielsen can turn around and say, look, maybe there will be the odd place that's up for grabs. You want to earn money week in, week out. You've got to play for it. You've got to show me why I should pay you.
And I think that's a very good point. And we've all met Corey, spoken to him. I think he would have been completely honest with every player on that roster,
I
and
totally
I would have told
agree.
them that you are here for a short time at the moment, but you could be here for the season. It depends whether you want it. I've got you on my elite league roster, but I tell you what, if one of these guys, performs well, you could be. I think he would have been completely honest with the players, and I don't really see the aggro or a bit of friction between them, because I think they'll all know where they stand. And I think you listen to most of the players, and I think they're that excited about the Champions Hockey League that they just want to get out there and play and show their ability.
Yeah,
that's for me.
Okay, well, I think we're almost ready to wrap up, but final thing, are you looking forward to it?
No. Yes, of course I am. I mean, I think you'd be daft not to. So I think Friday night would be great. I hope the atmosphere's banging. Ken's already tweeted saying that they've been, testing a few things out, and it's going to be loud, and that's what it's got to be for me. It's got to be loud.
No more hillbilly rock or Cotton Eye Joe.
It reminds me of a family wedding.
Yeah, I'll love both of them.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm really, really looking forward to it. Both games.
Hang on, reminds you of a family wedding.
Cotton Eye Joe, yeah. It's always on there. The DJ always plays Cotton Eye Joe.
So family you go.
So,
are you looking forward to it, John?
Yes, yeah, very much so. Very much so. I think I've been looking forward to it for probably the past 4 weeks now. I've started really, really getting excited about both games. So, yeah, after 4 or 5 months, whatever it is, without hockey, and especially the quality we're going to see, I think that's what excites me most. It's the type of games that we're actually going to be playing in. And I think when I think back to watching Panthers playing the likes of Streatham Redskins and Ayr Bruins, for those who go back that far, I never ever thought I'd see us play competitive games against the likes of these teams. So I think
that's why the Panthers are doing it.
Mm.
There you go.
Just for it.
Well, no, for people like you.
I mean, even I'm looking forward to it. Even me.
That's
You know what I'm like, exactly.
That's saying something.
And there's your ending.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we shall leave it there. If you are down for the games over the weekends, we will be in here after both games with the camera looking for reactions. Also, fans from Lukko and Lulea. Near Lulea. If you're down as well, come in here, give us your reaction. We would love to hear from you. So
say that in Swedish and Finnish. So
unfortunately not. Try Google Translate. So until next week, from Aaron, Paul and myself, goodbye.